I'm excited to say on Mixed Signals that I shake things up a little bit. You know, back when I started working on Soul Stealer, it was one of these projects that I wasn't really sure where it was going. And it ended up being a guitar instrumental album via some of the assistance I had from friends of mine who encouraged me and said, hey man, you can do this. And I learned quite a bit during that process. On Mixed Signals, right from the get-go, I knew that my purpose wasn't to make a vocal album or anything else. It was to make a guitar instrumental album that has some interesting playing on there, has a variety of songs, moods, feels, and different types of things that I think are more accessible to listeners. And so I wanted to write a song. I wanted to have it be memorable. I wanted there to be a hook, a melody, and also have some fun on the guitar. The other thing that's really new on Mixed Signals is I was fortunate enough to work with Danny Lee. And Danny's somebody that I met a couple years ago, actually. I was working on the Terrell Ashby Sympatico album. I was brought in to do all the guitar parts on the electric and nylon string stuff. Great album, by the way, if you ever get a chance to check it out. But my buddy Terrell said, listen, the guy who mixed the album is going to come along. He came highly recommended from Andy Van Det, who's an industry veteran in the world of mastering and who mastered Mixed Signals as well. And this guy's name is Danny. I want you to meet him. So we kind of hung for a little while. And I didn't talk to Danny after that for a little bit. And so it was about a year or so ago, I thought, you know, I really want to get this going in terms of this album. I've got this notion for this album, Mixed Signals. I've got a bunch of songs. I need someone to partner up with me to help pull this together, to give me the best product I possibly can. I said, I'm going to call Danny. I really love what he did with my guitar sounds and the mixes on the albums that he had worked on previously. And I thought, I'm just going to call him. So out of the blue, I contacted him and said, hey, Danny, do you remember me? It's Carm Grasso. And he did remember meeting me. And in addition to having this conversation where we both found out, hey, you know, we have a lot of similar ideas in terms of what we like, what we want to hear, the kind of music that we're into. I said, listen, I'm going to throw this out there. I've got this vision for about 3 instrumental guitar albums. And I'd love to be able to partner with you. Would you be interested in doing something like that? And to my surprise, I shouldn't say surprised, I was pleasantly surprised that Danny was very much into it. And that was one of the biggest differences is Mixed Signals is coming from a place of I wanted this to be a guitar instrumental album with all of those elements that I talked about before. But now I'm working with a master producer and mixer and Danny Lee. And our chemistry is really something that is notable. I enjoy working with him. He's very professional, gets great results. And I foresee us working together for quite a bit of time more in the future. So Danny is highly recommended by me. The other thing that's different about Mixed Signals as well is that on the first Soul Stealer album, I played all the instruments. And that has pluses and minuses. This time around, I thought, you know, I want to bring in some different players to really maybe elevate the songs. And so I was able to find online, and that's kind of interesting too, because back in the day when I did the Soul Stealer release, you know, let me find a friend who's a drummer, let me book studio time, let me work with another engineer, there's a lot to it, per hour studio, all of those types of things. Fast forward to 2016, now all of a sudden I can basically have someone play on my recording who lives maybe halfway across the world, who is an excellent musician, who can provide awesome results, and who can elevate the song. So I had the pleasure of working with Max Sadie on drums. He's from wantdrums.com. Did an awesome job and really brought some of those songs to life on Mixed Signals, as well as Chris Allen from chrisjallen.com. He played on a couple tunes, Mixed Signals and Phoenix Rising. Monster player as well in the way of double bass and aggression in his playing. And finally, I also played with Dan Hawkins, who is from onlinebassplayer.com. Again, I found all of these folks online. Dan is a monster bass player, awesome results that he produced, and certainly enjoyed working with all of them. Interesting to know that while I'm here in the US in my Mellow Sound studios, and Danny is as well here in the US, that both Danny, Max, Dan, and Chris are all from the UK. So I guess I'm in good company and really enjoyed working with those guys. I had Andy Van Det master the album again this time. Always tremendous results. But that's what was different. The focus right from the beginning, working with Danny and working with Max, Chris, and Dan really brought the album to a different place in terms of energy, vibe, feel, and just top results as far as I'm concerned. Great job, guys. Definitely check out Carm Grasso online. You can go to my website, carmgrassomusic.com, to learn a little bit more about me and some of the releases I've been involved in. And if you look up Carm Grasso, you're going to see my music listed on iTunes, Amazon, CD Baby, basically all of the download sites, as well as on the streaming services. So please, whether it be Soul Stealer or in this case Mixed Signals, look up Carm Grasso and you can hear some of the different stuff I've done. I hope you like it, and check it out.